Here are my predictions for this Sunday's All-In at Wembley Stadium. We've got some great matchups lined up, so let's check them out.
Go check it out!
First up, we're looking at Aussie Open versus MJF and Adam Cole for the ROH World Tag Team titles. I believe Aussie Open will retain the titles. While the match promises to be entertaining, I anticipate either MJF or Adam screwing up, which will tie into the main event.
What the fuck?
This match should be a fantastic opener, setting the tone for the evening. With that said, Aussie Open retains. Next, we have an unexpected match that's got me buzzing. Best friends Eddie Kingston, Orange Cassidy, and Penta versus John Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, Claudio Castagnoli, with Santana and Ortiz in a Wembley Stadium stampede. If it's anything like the last Stadium Stampede in Jacksonville, we're in for a treat. Remember when the Elite surprised us with Matt Hardy? Or when Adam Page rode in on a horse?
What's everybody staring at?
With the added element of Claudio and Eddie's heated rivalry, I'm curious to see what they have up their sleeve, and I'm sure Eddie will do everything in his power to take out Mox and Claudio. But with all things considered, I still think Blackpool Combat Club will come out on top. Especially after their recent loss to the Elite in the Blood and Guts match, this seems like BCC's chance to score a major win. I'm taking Blackpool Combat Club. Now we have Darby Allin and Sting versus Swerve Strickland and Christian Cage in a Coffin match. While these gimmick matches tend to be predictable, this one feels different. Now with the personal tension between Darby and AR Fox and the potential return of a full-fledged Joker Sting, absolute gold. Many fans haven't seen Joker Sting from the old TNA days, which was arguably Sting's most entertaining persona. I also wouldn't be surprised if Nick Wayne jumps in, settling his score with Swerve and Christian. But let me ask you guys, will AEW really let Sting and Darby lose their own gimmicked match in front of 80,000 fans in London?
Ain't gonna happen.
My bet's on Darby and Sting. Then there's the biggest surprising yet strange matchup, Will Ospreay versus Chris Jericho. It's not their wrestling prowess that worries me, it's whether Jericho can match Ospreay's pace. I trust Jericho to deliver, but I have my reservations. I will say though, the contract signing on this past episode of Dynamite has definitely convinced me about this match. But considering Don Callis' interventions, and unless Jericho has an ace up his sleeve, I'm leaning towards Ospreay to win this one. And who knows, maybe this is the beginning of a trilogy of matches. Speaking of Callis, we then have the Golden Elite versus Jay White, Juice Robinson, and...
Your name's on the tip of my tongue. I believe it's Take a Shitta?
To be honest, the build-up for this match has been kind of lackluster. Aside from the Kenny Omega interview with JR and their last match with the Guns and Juice Robinson, I do feel like an added stipulation to this match would make it way more intriguing. Even if there isn't a stipulation added, the Elite still know how to put on a great match. Either way, I think Kenny will eventually hit someone with a one-winged angel for the Golden Elite to pick up the win. Now on to the women. We've got Britt Baker versus Toni Storm versus Hikaru Shida versus Saraya for the AEW Women's World Championship. For me, it's a toss-up with so many variables. Maybe Ruby Soho assists Toni and Saraya, or Jamie Hayter returns to back Britt and Hikaru. Still, I see Britt Baker clinching the title once again to be at the top of the women's division. A last-minute match was also made on this past episode of Dynamite. The Acclaimed with the badass Billy Gunn versus the House of Black for the AEW World Trios Championships. The build for this match has been great. The added element of Billy Gunn coming back from his attempted retirement had me hyped for how intense this match could end up getting. I'm also very excited to see what Platinum Max Caster has to say on his way to the ring. The House of Black have done a tremendous job at holding the trios titles and making them feel important. Truthfully, I would like to see their reign continue, but I wouldn't mind seeing a nice pop for the Acclaimed. I'm gonna take the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass to win the titles. We are down to the final three. Samoa Joe versus CM Punk for the Real World Championship. This feud, dating back to their Ring of Honor days, is legendary. That factor alone makes for an amazing storytelling fight, and a title match at Wembley feels like a fitting end to this historic feud. Now, I strongly think CM Punk retains, because to be honest, it's only a matter of time until he sets up a clash with MJF later in the year to unify the titles. Now we are at what could quite possibly be match of the night. The Young Bucks versus FTR for the AEW World Tag Team Championships is poised to be another classic. If we know the Young Bucks like I think we do, they probably have some interesting spots planned for this match. Especially when it's the biggest show in the company's history, they want to make sure fans remember this match for years to come. Now, I would love to see FTR retain the titles and continue their dominant reign. However, I realistically see the Young Bucks winning this match and taking back the straps. It's been quite some time since the Young Bucks have been at the top of the tag division or even held tag team gold. So this feels like the time that AEW will re-establish the Bucks as the elite team of the tag division. Nonetheless, expect FTR to pull out all the stops. While I'd love an FTR win, I sense a title switch to the Young Bucks. Last but most certainly not least, we have the main event, Adam Cole versus MJF for the AEW World Championship. Now this match is the one I'm most eager for. I mentioned earlier in the video that one of the boys might screw up the match for each other. In my opinion, I strongly believe that Adam Cole will be the one who screws up, which will enrage MJF.
Yeah, I think he's letting the emotions get the better of him.
Now, given the potential fallout from their tag match, I believe MJF will resort to his classic heel tricks and clinch the title. This could end up putting their friendship into question, which would add drama to the must-see episode of Dynamite following the event. Because at the end of the day...
You're stupid, old man. I'm a snake. The greatest thing the devil ever did was make you people believe he didn't exist.
And that about wraps things up. All In at Wembley is shaping up to be a spectacle. Seeing a non-WWE promotion pull such crowds is heartwarming. Instead of endless AEW versus WWE debates, let's just celebrate that we are living in a thriving era of pro wrestling. Thanks for joining us on The Shoot. Don't forget...
Like and subscribe, YMCA. Like and subscribe!
As always, stay safe, stay excited, and keep loving wrestling.